Welcome to another episode of the BWP Micro Series. My name is Pablo, as you all know, and I'm here with an old friend of mine, Sefarkor. She used to be Miss Gohoho, now you're...
Now I'm Mrs. Boatin.
Mrs. Boatin, nice. Now, you always had a fascinating story to me. I remember you from the days of GIS and then with the Canoe magazine. Why don't you share your story with us?
So, from GIS, I went to university in England. I went to the London School of Economics, but I was very sure I did not want to follow my peers into investment banking or hedge funds, or some of them went into NGO type world. And I decided I needed to really find myself. I needed to find where I exactly fit in. I did economics and philosophy. So those are two completely different things to do. And it really taught me that even though there's a dichotomy, you can somehow find a middle ground where you can exist. So after university, I realized I had a niche for fashion and I like design and working with creatives. So I did a bit of retail to kind of pay my school fees and help, support myself while I was in London. And then a lot of friends kept asking, a lot of my design friends came and they kept asking me for help. They knew I was in business school at London School of Economics. And so with my experience in business studies, they kept asking me for advice. How do we do this? How do we do that? So I set up a company which did management for artists and product designers. So there was this one girl in particular, a German girl. She was fantastic. She designed chandeliers and all kinds of wonderful ornaments, and I wanted to help her just be in the studio, do her creating, and what I did was help find how to produce what she wanted to create at an efficient price in order to be able to sell it. So we got a few good deals. We got into some hotels in Dubai. We got into airports, in Schiphol Airport. She has one of her big chandeliers in there.
Nice.
And so that's how my work started.
Interesting.
I started working with creatives, and as you know, nothing scares them more than spreadsheets and having to do all that nitty-gritty stuff. But that's what I came in with. And I also, coming from a philosophical background, understood their way of thinking. So I was able to merge the two, and that's how my dream started of working with the creatives. So of course when I came back, I was amazed at the opportunities that existed. A lot of people don't see it, but there's a lot of opportunities here. And a group of friends and I started Canoe magazine, which was supposed to celebrate some of those opportunities, celebrate the successes that we saw on the continent. So from the successful people, the wonderful locations that we have in Africa, like holiday destinations, the interesting businesses people were doing, we profiled and celebrated them all. But of course, not everybody supported our idea of what the magazine should be like, because they thought we were glorifying the excess of people's wealth and showing off and that kind of thing. But that wasn't our goal. Our goal was really to get people to think positively about this place and show people that it's not always the negative image that other people portray of us that is the true image of Africa. I mean, there's another side,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean...
Another side besides Ebola.
Exactly. I mean, that whole thing is so embarrassing, It's so embarrassing, and to me, it's just another way of them trying to bring us back down. Because we were on a very nice trajectory. Everybody was optimistic, we had a lot of foreign investment coming in, and now they're glorifying this Ebola thing as if it's Africa, don't go there, don't do this. And we've lost a lot because of it. But I'm really optimistic. We always bounce back. That's the one thing about us. We always know how to get ourselves right and move upwards.
Beautiful.
Maybe not at the right pace, but we'll get there.
And talking about the magazine, BWP at some point is going to start as a magazine. I hope we can benefit from your mentorship and the experiences that you go with the magazine.
Yes.
But talking about coming from a philosophical background, what's your philosophy in life?
I think it's a tough question. I mean, the one thing philosophy teaches you is that you don't know anything. That's the one thing. So you have to come into anything you do with an open heart and an open mind, and just kind of go with the flow and learn and listen. I mean, mostly you have to listen. I would say my philosophy is to stay optimistic, try and achieve self-actualization. We've all been put on this earth for a reason. We all have to figure out what we're good at and try and develop that. When you develop that, I hope, it'll take you to a place where like you reach the pinnacle of who you can be on this short time that God has given you on this earth. You know, I think that's very important. So I think that's probably my philosophy.
Wow.
Not many people ask me, but I think that's probably my philosophy.
Well,
and it changes as you grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's where I am now.
But I think when people learn to tie everything that they do with their purpose in life, or what they believe their purpose in life is, everything just sort of falls into place.
Yeah.
Now, what can we expect next?
Wow. So my role, as we were talking about, you know, developing yourself, my role is to be one of service. My role is to support, encourage, and make possible opportunities for others. So one of the things I've been doing since 2010, is I'm part of a civil society group called Africa 2.0. Africa 2.0, we're a group of disruptive professionals who use our networks and our influence to impact change on the continent. We've been very fortunate this year because President Obama also has the same idea as us. He wants the youth of Africa, we're a youth organization, I should have said that. We have 40,000 people following us. We have chapters in 22 African countries, and I'm the Ghana chapter head. So our focus is youth, women, technology, and agribusiness, and a little bit the diaspora. Of course, the diaspora, they have a lot of support they want to give, and so we need to create structures to allow them to do that, because they have access to things that we don't, you know. And of course, women are very important. Half of our continent, maybe a little bit more than half of our continent are women, and the youth are our biggest focus, because as you all know, Africa is mostly young, and we are going to have quite a number of young people in the years to come. So President Obama also believed in this, and so he decided to start a program called the YALI program. It's a Young African Leadership Initiative. The YALI program sends 500 young Africans from the continent to America every year for 6 weeks for a program. Now when they come back home, this is where there was a problem. This is why we come in. When they came back home, the program ended. So he's decided to create leadership centers for young people in Africa. In July of this year, he announced that he was choosing 4 African countries: Ghana, South Africa, Senegal, and Kenya.
Nice.
Within Ghana, he was going to work with 2 partners mainly, GIMPA and Africa 2.0.
Okay.
So Africa 2.0's role within this consortium it's a USAID project, or USAID, people say it different ways. Okay. And our role within the project is to help with the selection process of people who can come to these leadership centers, where we will do courses in how to be a leader, how to think like a leader, how to deal with conflict resolution, how to just different practical skills that our schools don't always teach us, you know. We've got an entrepreneurium where people can come and learn how to do business plans, find access to finance and investment, you know, very practical tools for the African youth to really make them, you know, great leaders. We've got a great online platform that we're designing to also allow those who cannot come to the actual center, which will be in GIMPA, to be online and take on online courses, online classes on whatever their skills are that they need to, you know.
And how do they access this information?
So we're launching it, we're building it all now, and we're going to be launching it next year, early next year. And Africa 2.0's role is also to disseminate that information. So this is what we're working on now, figuring out how can we get this information to the widest number of people. How can we make sure the youth are getting exactly what they need? because there's a lot of support for this. If anyone goes onto the White House website, they've announced that MasterCard Foundation, Microsoft, a whole load of large organizations, they've committed about $38 million to these projects. So it's an opportunity, that's all it is right now. It's an opportunity for us to really try our best to be involved in this and to be the ones who make this exactly what the African youth need. So that's one of the things I'm working on. That's my biggest project for now, apart from my own little things, I do.
Yeah. Sefa, what are some of the highlights in your life, challenges you've been through, some of the issues, milestones, and how you reacted to them?
Well, life always hits you with challenges and opportunities. I mean, your attitude determines how you meet those challenges. If you are dealt with a challenge, how do you react? So I've had a few challenges in my life. I guess this is more of a professional platform, so I'll talk about work stuff. Setting up Canoe Magazine was a great joy. We loved that project. We were in 10 African countries distributing the magazine. People loved us. We had support from all kinds of strange places, even people who lived in Africa but were not from Africa. They loved having a magazine that showed, this is where we live. Oh, I don't feel sorry for us. Don't think, oh, we're in a poor place. We have great things on this continent. And they would take the magazine out and show it off. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that project. People locally on the ground got inspired to do their own businesses out of what they saw was possible in Canoe Magazine. They heard other people's stories, and of course this is one of the reasons I think you're doing this, because sharing of stories is one of the most important things, being honest and open about who you are. So yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, it's something that I'd never done before. We all made mistakes, and it was something that was very difficult for me to decide to step back from. So there are a few other publications I've been helping, as well as Canoe still, and yeah, now the future looks very interesting.
Wow. So to tie us off, if there are any words of encouragement you'd like to give our viewers, and any other opportunities you know of that our viewers may be interested in,
Okay.
put it out there.
Okay. Wow, this could be a long one. I would say, guys, follow your dreams, because you deserve whatever it is you want to accomplish. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it. Don't let anyone tell you it's impossible, because you really can. I really, really strongly believe that everyone has a role to play. Everyone needs to look within themselves and find their role, find where they can make a difference. You'd be surprised at what you can do someone else can't do. So you have to just try. Don't give up. For opportunities, there are quite a few. I'm working on one myself. I'm creating a multi-brand retail outlet. That outlet would be one space for, I said earlier, I like fashion and working with designers. So that space would be one space that would have 33 African brands within it. So there's a mix of fashion brands, there's art, so there's photography, there's a gallery upstairs, downstairs is all retail, accessories and shoes and things, all the nice stuff that we all enjoy. And it's also a place that will help those of you in the industry to get your market out, get your work out into the market. Because one of the problems is distribution. A lot of us are creating things, but you have your little studio and people don't know how to find you. So my role is to create this space to help you market yourself and get all your stock out. So if any of you are interested, if you have any products that you would like to have distributed across the continent, we are going to be in 5 African cities. We're starting in Ghana, So maybe when we open up, you can come and visit us, see if it fits what your brand is, because we are aiming for really professional, high-end brands. People who have decided this is my business. I'm going to do this forever, not some girl in their house who says, "Oh, let me just do this for a while." So yeah, we're here to support. We do lookbooks. We have an online store as well that we're working on, and yeah. Well, there's so many opportunities though. I don't know.
The youth want it. They're hungry.
They're hungry.
You give it to them.
They're hungry. I mean, I'm here. People are looking for things.
Well, you heard it on camera. Sefa says she's here, so we might put a website or an email address out there that you can use to contact her and get some more information.
I'm here for them.
She's a wealth of information and experience, and I hope that you will take advantage and engage. Well, you've been on another episode of the BWP Micro Series. Stay empowered.